child with an axe, a knife in her hand. Alone in the street, making her stand. But the chains of the state came crashing down. They jailed the innocent, let predators prowl. You silence the truth, you bury the brave. But Britain is waking, we will not be slain. The call to rise, Britain unite, stand or fall, the choice is tonight. They cage us, betray us, still we defy. The call to rise, Britain unite. From Scotland streets to London squares, voices unite, the world will stare. You can smear, you can slander, lock us in chains.
What is happening, everybody? Please like and share. Let's get this little stream out there. We're going to go over the exposing content that we used to do here with this team, getting you guys sort of prepared for the next line of content that's coming out. And any help you can do to get that out would be much appreciated. And we'll see you all in a couple of minutes.
We won't die in shame. The call to rise, Britain unite, stand or fall, the choice is tonight. They cage us, betray us, still we defy. The call to rise, Britain unite. Stand up or fall down. This is the reckoning here and now. One voice, one fight, one flag in the sky. September 13th, they can't silence the cry.
All right.
Trying to get saved, baby, I am not the answer, no.
What is happening, people?
I'm a man with a gift and I'm doing my shit like
It's very late. So apologies to anyone who's watching this back and had planned on watching it live and had to go to bed. It is what it is. So, listen. Ron, we're gonna have a serious chat. So, Ron's been fucked up the whole of August. Like, this isn't we're not about to talk about depression, right? Depression is when you're sad as fuck, right? I imagine your emotions is like a line. Like, if you know how to work a stereo equalizer, imagine happiness is pushing all the dials up, sadness is pushing all the dials down, and feeling nothing is in the middle. That's what I felt like for the whole of August. In fact, that's how I felt up until about 2 days ago. And I've never been one of those guys that like sleeping. I feel like sleeping is the biggest waste of time ever. Like, if I could have two versions of myself, where I had one version doing stuff, well, the other one powered down, I would. Like, I've always been that guy that 5 hours sleep, bang, and I'm up. If I have a nap, I feel crap afterwards. Like, it's weird. And the whole of August, all I wanted to do was sleep. And there's been people talking online about how, you know, they feel the same, they can't understand it. It was weird, because to feel nothing, I would have rather felt despair and sadness than nothing. It was like the emotional equivalent of a loved one being abducted and you never knowing if they're alive or dead. It was awful. It was awful. So as a man who needs to be encouraged to talk about these things, People like Mac and Shane. Shane knows better than Mac. But Mac, if you send me 2 messages on social media and I don't get back to you and you're worried about me, you need to just phone me. Because depending on the social media app, it's only programmed to alert me to phone calls. Do you see what I'm saying? And people like Mac and Shane, and Randy and Morgs and a lot of other people, they've had almost a decade of learning how weird I am. And they've stuck around and loved me, you know? We've got the new generation, Bailey and Mandy, frickin' Kaza, Siego, all these new people that are showing no signs of wavering. But see, when I actually take a minute and wonder what it's like to go through being a friend of mine, I would never advise anyone to be the sort of friend that I am. And it's weird because up until this point, I've not really realized what it is I'm doing. Your mic is quieter than normal. All right, let's try that. 1 second. Testing. There we go. See, compassion's one thing, right? Which I don't really understand. Compassion and empathy, as people describe them, I don't really understand. It's like embarrassment. I don't really understand that. But there's things I do that you would call empathetic or compassionate. But there's people that are built that way. Whether it's a stranger or a loved one, they have compassion. I'm not that guy. At all. Unless it's bullying. I could never walk past someone in the street that was being attacked. I could never walk past. But again, if it's 2 dudes fighting, I'm probably not going to get involved, right? Unless there's like a wheelie bin that I can throw in between them or something, because I ain't getting stabbed. It ain't happening. Not for some freaking dude. Women and children, it's different. But again, I'd want to involve a wheelie bin. But I've almost kicked open people's doors for strangers I've never met because of the sounds that I'm hearing coming from the inside. So I'm compassionate for a certain demographic of the world. If I feel like someone's being oppressed, I'll step in. And you know what's even weirder? I'm terrified of heights. Like, terrified of heights. Comically terrified. And I used to work at a paintball company. And then they bought what was called a rope access team building obstacle course. So a forest with an obstacle course where you've got the cow tails where you clip in one at a time. And, you know, you go across a wobbly bridge and all of this. So multiple times I rescued people who got stuck at a height. But the minute they were rescued, all of my fears kicked back in. It's so bizarre. So if my brain thinks I'm up in a high place for fun, it shuts me down. Like fetal position, you need to get an adult, I'm not moving. But if I'm rescuing someone, there's no fear, there's no anything. But the minute that they hit the bottom, if I've not hit the bottom at the same time, I then need rescued. Just to be clear. See, so it's weird. So the people I love, I will do terrible things for. Like terrible things. The things that I'm capable of are mad. Like if you've ever done something, justifiably, obviously, and then reflected and been like, I did not know I was capable of that. It's kind of like the first time you swear in front of your parents. I feel like that's the first evolution of that mindset that we can all kind of relate to. As a white dude, anyway. But I do a lot of self-evaluating. in ways that some of you probably can't even imagine or comprehend. But the last month has been disturbing. Nothingness, emptiness. It was horrific. Do you know why? Because it was so unfamiliar. Sadness, happiness, joy, anger, love, hate. No problem. I know where I am with that. But nothingness. And then I heard something. And it was all about the mindset of gratitude. And we're going to get a bit hippy-dippy here. And I'm not going to go into the complex beliefs I have. I'm going to break it down for you guys in the simplistic mainstream fashion. So when they say, if you're projecting outwards, I want to suffer, I want to be in pain, that's what's going to happen. And my little evil inner self-destructive narrative voice that exists in my head, one of the things it says is it wants me to hurt. That's how it says it. And it manifests itself, and I'll find myself saying these things and pushing that out. And for the whole of August, my entire body was in agony. Like, you know, when you start at the gym and then you wake up the next day and you're like, oh my God, oh my God. It was like that all over for no reason. And then I started saying to myself, what am I projecting out? This is so, do you know what really pisses me off is how right people like Danny Henderson are, and how arrogantly simplistic they put their point across. And they're so right. They're freaking awesome. But experiencing real outward projection of real intent of self-destruction, of suffering, self-suffering, is literally what I experienced. And it was wild. So now, well, here's the thing. If you hurt, it's for a reason. So you're assuming that the narrative in my brain is trying to teach me a lesson for something or whatever. Imagine a part of you existing that is the part of the entire human makeup that thrives from someone else's downfall. There's actually a word for it when comedy is based off of someone else's suffering. And I live an incredible life. And the price I pay for that incredible life is usually 3 months of happiness followed by a week of manic depression. And that is the balance, right? And I'm okay with that. But when new things start being introduced that create suffering and negativity, and trust me, I went through 2 decades of mental self-abuse, self-worthlessness, everything you could imagine that is negative about a mindset, but I projected confidence. It's fascinating. No, I'm still in contact with Beverly. Don't worry about that. She'll be back soon. Beverly and I, she's like, I've never had a strong group of male friends. I do now on the internet, but Beverly is probably higher ranking as one of the boys in my friend group in my mind than some of the boys. Do you know what I'm saying? So Beverly and I have a weird relationship where if I spoke to Beverly every day, it would be the same friendship as if we didn't speak for 6 months. It's not an explainable connection. And also, I don't like going to people for balance. Do you know how easy it would be for me to use Beverly, Danny Henderson, Azria, any of these people as a crutch? Do you have any idea how easy it could be? You're talking to someone who understands the purpose of self-suffering. Would I recommend any of the things that I believe that work for me to anyone else? Hell no. Hell no. There are certain people that have to go through because they have a deeper understanding of what suffering can lead to when it is presented in the form of balance of your own personal existence. And some of you will understand what I'm saying, and some of you won't, and I don't give a shit. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And balance is key. Good and bad have to exist. The wolf has to eat the deer. But evil, there's no place for evil. What happened with Charlie? Evil. What happens to the vulnerable? Evil. I can't stand it. Evil, when you boil it down in the same way as when you take a fine vinaigrette and boil it down into a concentrated version of itself. When you do that with evil, every single form of it comes under the bully label. You know, for a dumbass, to summarize, they're just all bullies. And oppression, I cannot fucking stand it. I cannot fucking stand it. I don't get it. I don't get racism. I don't get sexism. I don't get homophobia. I don't get it. I've never got it. I just don't get it. Like, what's the big deal? Do you know what's mad though when you think about let's just take heterosexual and homosexuals for a start. Do you know how many years gay people's rights were set back just for generations of straight dudes feeling a bit icky? Probably 20, 25. I'm going to say probably a quarter of a century. That's a bit weird factor of heterosexuals is probably a quarter of a century is what held it up. Genuinely. Because here's the thing. Like, there was this mindset of like, oh, I can't get changed in front of a naked guy and in front of a gay guy. You know what I'm saying? Because then I'll be naked in front of somebody that has sex with the same sex that I am. That I just don't get it. I genuinely just don't get it. I don't get it. I've never understood it. So, yeah, it just confuses me. I understand when it comes to people's rights, it's a big deal. And I agree with how big a deal everyone having the same rights is. But it's never bothered me. I've never understood the bigotry. I just don't. There's so many other things that are warrant of racist style, like abuse that people could be doing. Scientology, for one. Do you know what I'm saying? If every racist suddenly woke up tomorrow and applied that mindset to Scientology, brilliant. I just don't get it. And you're talking to a guy who last year, a black American, wrote a book about how I was a black cultural colonizing racist. And if you want to be real, there's definitely a live stream from earlier this year where I definitely had a few drinks and said that a certain individual would either end up throwing themselves off a building or end up in a loony bin. And one of those two things happened. And motherfucker, you know, I just don't get it. Yeah, racism does suck. But you know what else sucks? The mindset that racism is exclusive to demographics who've suffered it longer than others. Don't start getting like jealous and pissed off because other people are feeling racism. This year was the first year. 2024 and 2025 are the first times where, as a white dude, I have genuinely felt racial attacks. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a survivor. I'm not somebody who feels oppressed. I do a little bit, but not to certain levels. But it's wild. It's wild. The last couple of years have been wild. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a bit of video footage going around of a white guy knocking out 5 women who attacked his wife. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If I was ever out with my partner and 5 women attacked her, I would knock the living shit out of every single one of those women. I would want them to wake up the next day and remember every single thing that they chose poorly about that night. It would be the same if it was men. It would be the same if it was a pigeon. Okay? In fact, I'd probably be less violent towards the pigeon. I'll be honest with you. And in fact, there's been times when I've been in Blackpool where I've purposely thrown food over my partner so seagulls will attack her. So nature's a different story. If a woman or a man ever tried to attack me, I have been really, really good at talking my way out of anyone having to be punched in the face by me. I don't like punching people in the face. Nothing ever good comes from it. Especially if it's blind rage. If it's blind rage and I've lost control and Alan's taken over and the black eyes kick in, that's when like eye sockets get smashed and all this. Like I have nightmares about walking out of a bar and then having a fist fight on a pavement. Those are the sort of things that I have nightmares about. Like if you're going to have a fight, you do it on a grass. You do it on the grass. Do you know what I'm saying? Not on the concrete. Concrete, bad. Grass, nice. These are the sort of, honestly, this is the sort of things that plague me. Anyway, listen, I've side quested for what, 20 minutes? So I want to talk to you guys, especially if you're watching this back, maybe you guys are new to the channel. Ron spent his first few years on YouTube being a bushcrafter, a survivalist, part of the prepper community, all of this stuff. And then sadly had his eyes opened to child abuse and pedophilia on the dark web. Subsequently became, do you know what's so frustrating? How well versed I am on the subject of pedophiles. It's fucked. Because I learned, because I'm a fucking just, who the hell's brain is wired like this? So when I want to investigate or learn something, I want to learn from a source. So let's say fishing, right? You learn the basics of fishing from someone who knows how to fish. So I went around the dark web posting on forums that I was a journalist who wanted to have a discussion with pedophiles, human traffickers, torturers, all these people on an encrypted network on the dark web. This means that there's no way they can find me and I can't find them. It's impossible. And we all know criminals love to talk when they're in a safe environment that they can. Oh my God. Are you serious, Svana? Fucking hell, I'm butchering your name. Svana, you've been around that long. Do you know what's funny? I found all my old camping videos. And I think what I might do is re-upload them based off of the practical lessons that are in the videos and how they can be applied for rule without law and prepper scenarios. Because it was fucking awesome. It was awesome. Anyway, what was I just talking about? I felt like I was on a roll there. What was I talking about? Oh, what we used to do, pedophiles becoming an expert, encrypted networks. So my theory was when you see an interview with a criminal, and they're being interviewed, there's always this, unless they're a lifer, unless they're in for life, but if there's a chance that they're getting out, they project an image of resolve. They're changed. They couldn't be the person they were. And then it got me thinking about the zoo and how if I wanted to learn about lions, I wouldn't go to the zoo where they're caged. I'd have to go to where they lived and watch how they are in the wild. So I spent a year talking to groomers, pedophiles, all these horrible motherfuckers on the dark web, encrypted, letting them tell me all of the tactics that they use for their specific demographic of horror. And I learned a lot. And then I applied everything that I learned to investigative journalism, into investigating problematic individuals. Now, the first 2 bits of content that are going to come out next week are looking at 2 subjects that I've covered before. One of which is child-size sex dolls. The first time I tackled this subject, I confronted Pornhub by creating a video that featured content that is publicized on their platform of child-sized sex dolls being used for adult content, right? So you could say, but Ron, isn't it better that these sickos have a child-sized sex doll to do what they want to it? Sure, but I'm not saying it's okay for them to film themselves and upload it, right? Because what are we creating? We're creating a normalization. And for me, the biggest thing that I have got a radar for are issues that will normalize the lifestyle of relations with children. The problem itself, massive problem. But the way in which pedophilia has been rebranded over the years, you know, for example, the MAP movement. How much less oppressive is the word MAP? Minor attracted person. Right? Then you've got the AM movement. Adult attracted minors. Oh yes, 13 and 14-year-olds have created a movement because, you know, if they want to fall in love with a 30-year-old, they should be allowed to do so. And it's these rebrandings, it's these communities that flourish on the surface web, on Telegram, on Discord, on the dark web, all of it. It's the normalization and the spokespeople for this generation of normalizers. There's one woman that Morg sent me a link to on YouTube. We're going to be covering this next week too. And she's a 35-year-old woman who has perfected looking like a 13-year-old girl for OnlyFans and her social medias. So, we have a woman of legal age. Now, when I say looks like a 13-year-old, I don't mean she looks a bit like a 13-year-old. I mean, she's nailed the makeup, the outfits, the slightly oversized props that are in her scenes to make her look smaller than... I mean, it is mad. So we've got no crimes being committed at all. But as we've seen before, as we've seen with the pedophile princess, the Saving Jake Paul documentary that I done, when you have somebody who is projecting a lifestyle that is horrific, underage individuals being sexualized, horrific, those who populate around them in the comments, in the subscriptions, in the following, are the individuals that create the normalization for these motherfuckers. And I ain't fucking having it. I ain't fucking having it at all. And this feeling that I had in August of nullness, last night I had a awakening. And this is going to sound like the most cliche bullshit anyone has ever fucking heard in their life. And I was lying in bed and I was like, who the fuck am I? And then I said my name out fucking loud and I was like, I'm fucking this. And it was like, you know, when you see people that have been buried in a mine shaft for months and they finally crack the rock and a bit of light comes through. It was like an emotional version of that. It was almost like somebody had put a bag over me and I hadn't realized, and they were holding me captive. And it took me 5 weeks to notice that I had gone. And then I realized, and I broke free from it. How fucking, honestly, I'm not a mental case, just in case you're listening back to this. I'm just an oversharer. and it's the realness. But fucking hell, man, this is like a psychiatrist's wet dream. See, weekly rant, right? Depression it's not like, trust me, Ron has experienced depression. Ron's experienced the breakup depression, the loss of a child depression, the all-consuming physical pain of depression, but it's all gilded in sadness. This was like, it was like, do you know what purgatory is, right? How the Irish would always say all the unbaptized babies will just be wandering around in purgatory. It was like that. If I had to describe it, I was walking in an endless white room that had no concept of distance or containment. I was just walking through it. I felt fine. I didn't feel up. I didn't feel down. I felt lost because of the unfamiliarity. No numb pain. Nah, there was no pain. Numbness, sure, but it wasn't necessarily negative. It was just neutral, and it was fucking horrible, mate. Horrible. But nah, I wouldn't say it was depression. It was so much more deep-rooted in a core of an essence than a simple psychological thing. It was wild. Anyway, so child-size sex dolls, we're going to be revisiting that. We're going to see if Pornhub cleaned up their act. The nudists are getting revisited because fucking mad bastards. Then we're going to be exposing social media accounts that you guys are reporting on Discord to me. It's the safest way for you to report problematic individuals and feel like you're part of something without actually putting your life in danger from cartels. So, you know, I want to bring back the days of what we used to do. And you know what I've learned about myself? Slow and steady creates routine with me. You know, my ADHD is so mad. I ran out of deodorant, I think, 2 weeks ago. Went to the shop 4 or 5 times with the sole purpose to buy deodorant. Never bought it. Done 3 online orders that I forgot to buy it. And eventually remembered to buy it. And I phoned my mum and I was like, Mum, I fucking remembered. Do you know how mad it is for a man of my age to celebrate remembering something compared to a normal individual? It's fascinating to me. So, and I'm here for it. It's not self-critical. It's enjoyable understanding how my mind works. And then appreciating to me what a little win is. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? How to remember to pick up the toilet roll after you've changed the toilet roll is like a fucking unknown mission to me. Anybody's life falls apart and needs their whole life reconstructed, I'll do it in about 5 fucking minutes for you. Funny as fuck. I love it. I love it. So, yeah, I went 40 years of my life thinking, what the fuck is going on? And then when I understand about neurodiversity, totally different me. Okay, so really, I've talked a lot of pish about stuff that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I've drank a bottle of port. Everyone's getting antsy and wanting some tunes to be getting played, I think. So really next week I'm going to start rolling out pre-recorded content. I'll be live on the Sean Atwood channel Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays. There may be some expansions to live content on Sean's channel with regards to subjects like the assassination tonight. I'll be following that story. But I want to be producing as much content as I can pre-recorded for Sean and for our channel. But I need your guys' support. I really do. I wish I could tell you that I don't need your help, but I do. So memberships, donations, all these things, please understand that I'm trying to be more independent. I'm trying to balance this channel, other channels, all the rest of it. But I can't talk about things I don't care about anymore. I can't do it. I can't do it. The Royal Mess I can. I mean, I could poke fun at the Royals all fucking day. So I don't necessarily mean that. But I just can't talk about bullshit. All I want to talk about is the fucking silent fucking invasion of my country, of Australia, of New Zealand, of America, of Canada. The supremacy that seems to be rising up against my people. It's fucked. You know what I mean? Also, pedophiles. Fuck them. Dirty little fuckers. Coming for you. I'm coming for you. Oh, I'm coming for you, motherfuckers. I really am. I can't fucking stand it. Do you know, I just don't like bullies. I just don't like bullies. You know what I'm saying? Rapists? Nah. Pedophiles? Nah. People that hurt animals? Nah. Nah. They're all top of the list. At least if you're a murderer, I'll hear your story out. Do you know what I mean? But the other ones, the other three, rapists, pedophiles, and animal abusers, there's nothing that you can ever say that'll justify or warrant that charge. Do you know what I'm saying? At least a murderer, you can be like, okay, well, what's the story? Like, oh, you caught a dude banging your missus and you lost it and smashed him over the head. Relatable. Yeah, I agree, Sam. They are more valuable than gold. Kids are fucking awesome. I mean, I've made 7 children so far that I know of. You know, like my fucking bullshit DJ name is Stanley the Bastard, and Stanley the Bastard is what I call the at least one child that I don't know exists as Stanley the Bastard. You know what I mean? Shout out Stanley. At least, man. Do you know, there's a couple of occasions where I'm like, that could have actually happened. You know, when I was running the club nights and we were going to all these fucking mad rave events around the countries, there was encounters. There was no exchange of fucking full names, let alone phone numbers and shit. Oh, Fifi, Ron trying to make alien babies. So Ron was thinking about this the other day. He was watching something about the first generation of people on Mars. And it got me thinking that if you have a baby on Mars, that's a Martian. How sick is that? Don't tell me as well that if suddenly 12 new alien races turned up tomorrow and integrated with Earth, you ain't all trying to pump an alien. Don't think you're better than me, you motherfuckers. Don't think you're better than me. And the ones that won't admit it, I'll be on fucking Pornhub watching the alien porn when their fucking wife or husband's upstairs sleeping. So don't give me your pish. Okay, Ron's just brutally honest about the fucking world. Fucking Ron's going to be the only one trying to bang a fucking alien. You'll all be trying to fucking bang aliens. Once those 8-titted fucking blue fucking scaled fucking things turn up, dunzo. Yeah. And you ladies, you know what I'm talking about. Once the frickin', you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, ladies? You know what I'm saying? So, fucking don't think you're better than me. Fucking bullshitters. Fucking bullshitters. Also, I really want to try stand-up comedy. Do you know how long? It's only like 3 minutes they give you. My whole, like, testicles bit, I could last for 3 minutes. About how if the human bodies were Fiverr designs, you'd have some fucking, you know, changes to make. And then, do you know, thinking about this got me onto a new narrative of comedy about eyelids, right? Because I think, see if we could just cut off millions of eyelids and make a suit of armor out of it. I think eyelids are the most underrated protective thing ever. Think about it. Your eyeball is a fucking grape, right? If I give you a grape to hold in your hand, how long before you fuck up that grape, right? And all we have are eyelids to protect our eyes. Do you know how much shit has almost poked me in the fucking eye in my life? A lot. And my eyelids have just kept it fucking safe, mate. Like, not Ron, go to sleep. I'm onto something here, okay? Because fucking eyelids. Ball sack, who the fuck is taking the most sensitive part of my fucking body and storing it in some leftover elbow fucking skin and then dangling it off the front of me? That is bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit design is what that is. You telling me the same person that came up with the central nervous system came up with hanging bollocks off the front of me in a bag? Fuck off. Stupid idea. Stupid idea. Stupid. Stupid. They don't even need to be there. They don't even need to be hanging out. They could be next to the kidney. No one would fucking know, mate. They're just out there because someone gave up on the last fucking day. Someone brought in cakes and muffins. The whole fucking design went to shit. Fucking bullshit. 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 What would I do differently? Turtle shell. The testicles come out like the turtle's legs. Okay? You could fucking polish it, make it look all shiny. Someone kicks you in the balls. Fucking turtle shell. Bosh. Fucking bag. Stupid fucking bastards. Stupid fucking bastards, honestly. So then it got me, like I say, it got me thinking about eyelids, because eyes are the testicles of the face. Do you know what I mean? They're just little squishy balls of fucking nothing. If you took your eyeball out and slapped your eyeball, the same power that you would slap a motherfucker in the face, you're killing that eyeball. That eyeball's exploding. Okay? My face is fine. My eyelid will protect it. But I think there's something going on with my eyelids. I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. Because, I mean, I've been shot in the eye with how can my eye reacts quicker than my brain can think about what's happening. I've been, like, paintballs, fucking BB pellets have hit me in the eye, and before I know anything, my eye has gone into fucking lockdown. It has gone into, like, it looks like when you put your mouth in a glass and try and do the Kardashian lip trend, okay? It is fucking closed. It is, the blast doors are closed on that fucking eye, and I don't even know what it's doing. It's doing that all by itself. I've not told my eye to do that shit, but it has seen, in slow motion, the BB coming towards my eye. Have you ever been in the woods and, like, looked up? You've been fully walking and you look up and you stop right as you're about to walk into a fucking eye-level broken off branch. Yeah, the fucking, something going on with the eyelids, man. It's fucking the cult of the eyelids. I'm fully on board for that. Because I'm just saying, they didn't put that much security on my testicles, okay? If they'd put in half the amount of effort in what they did to develop the eyelid into the most, it's so unnecessary. Or take away how sensitive, why are they that sensitive? For a start, why? Why? Hang on a second, everybody. Right. So, the fuck was I talking about? I can't remember. Probably a lot of pish. Anyway, so listen, it's midweek melters. We're going to be going live. Eyeball. Oh, fucking the testicles of the face, mate. Wait to hear about the testicles of the face story. Also, I feel quite bad for Bruce Willis. Dementia is fucked. Like if I was ever to get old and get dementia, like, you would want to be full on dementia, like pink fucking unicorns, everything, because being stuck in a place where you know that you've got to remember the people that love you and can't, and are stuck in that cycle. Fuck. Big shout out to Demi Moore. For what she's trying to do as well. Wild. Fucking wild. Now, what are we doing? Alright. What time is it? Oh, it's 1:30. Yes. So we are going to start this at 1:45 in 15 minutes. You dirty, degenerate fucking bastards. But look, get prepared for all the new content. Come and join the Discord. Get involved with reporting problematic social media accounts. We have a very good track history with slapping a motherfucker. So, yeah. This live stream was all over the place. I'm not going to lie. Like, I did not expect for Charlie to have to be a live stream. So, I'm a bit all over the place, but that's fine. See you in the next one, motherfuckers. In like 15 minutes max. Bye.